Hi, everybody. My name is Candice, and I'm one of the founders of Letterloop. And today I'm here to share with you how you can create your own private group newsletter with your family, friends, and teams. And it's super quick and easy, and I'll show you how you can do that. So before I jump in, I will go ahead and show you an example of what a Letterloop looks like. And so here you see a example letter loop with the Nakamuras. This is a family newsletter. And you can see here are the questions. This is everybody's responses. You can add photos and captions. You can even add music. And everybody gets to share a little bit about what's going on in their life. And then there's a little piece at the bottom that tells you when the next issue will get delivered. And we just keep it going for you on a cadence. So before I jump in, I'll also talk about how it works. It's very easy. You pick your questions. You choose from a couple of our own questions, or you can write your own. Your group members can also ask each other questions, and you invite your friends and your family, and then we do all of the hard work in terms of inviting everybody, sending them reminders to reply, and at the end of the week, you get a beautiful newsletter with everybody's photos, updates, and more. Letterloop is perfect for groups of all kinds, so families, teams, universities, masterminds, friends, whatever community you might in is perfect for Letterloop. So yeah, let's get started. So first, the first thing you do is you tap on sign in or try for free, and you can get started. We have a system for logging in that is really easy to use, so you can either sign up with Google, with Apple, or you can just use your email or password if you would like. So I'll go ahead and do email. I'm clicking on my magic link within my email, so now it's verifying, and then I am in. Now that you have set up your Letterloop account, you can get started with creating your very first Letterloop. So this is your Letterloop dashboard, and you can see here, these are all my active Letterloops and some of the ones I've paused as tests. So when you sign up for the first time and you have no Letterloops, you can just basically create a Letterloop here. Just tap on that and we can get started. So the first thing to do is to name your Letterloop. You can always change this at any time, but let's say that I'm just going to create a test one and I'm just going to call it Letterloop Crew. I can now choose how often I want to hear from everybody in my group, and those options include every month, every 2 weeks, every quarter. And if I later, at a later time, want to have more specific frequencies, I can also change that, but these are the timeframes that we recommend that works the best for most of our community members. Next, I can check what sections I would like to include in my letter loop, and sections are dedicated areas in your letter loop where you and your group gets to share about a specific concentrated topic. So for example, in a section could be a photo wall or music or something that's happening in your life. These are dedicated sections that recur over and over again per issue. And you can also add your own section. So if you have a group that, loves going to the gym or has, really goal oriented, you might want to have a section where you're talking about what your goals are, or maybe some hot takes, or maybe showing some outfits of the days. Whatever that looks like, you can go ahead and add your sections here. And then to the fun part, you, of course, want to customize your questions for your issue. And questions can be customized every single issue, and we have an even larger bank of questions that you can ask. But to kick things off, here are some questions we recommend, and you can always ask your own. Now you invite your members to your letter loop. So I'll go ahead and invite Jonathan, and he's going to be invited. And I also write a personal note to include in the email invitation. And when I hit finish and start the letter loop, Letterloop sends an invite to everybody in your group, and we do all that work for you. And it's always great if you want to text your group and let them know, hey, you're getting this invite from me. It's from Letterloop, and here's how it works. But we do that explanation for you as well. If you're curious on what your letter loop is going to look like at the really end, you can go ahead and preview your design. And this is what it looks like. Your questions are up here, your sections and your music section, all that stuff's down there. And everybody's responses get compiled into one. There you have it. So go ahead and finish and start. And now all the invites are going out. Cool. All right, so it says here that your new Letterloop crew Letterloop is now live, and Letterloop has taken the time to invite everybody to reply, and your first issue will be due on April 24th. All right, so let's just walk through the experience of what it's like as a member or as somebody who is signing up for the first time, or if you want to go ahead and reply to your Letterloop. So you go ahead and reply, and this is where you get to write your whatever it is that you want. You can add photos, but of course you have to add some text first, and then you can also add photos here. You can add multiple photos if you want. You can look for songs and, add songs, and then you can share the reply. So once you share the reply, everybody's replies will get queued, and then on the day of the delivery date, it'll get sent out to everybody's inbox. If you want to make changes to your members, you can go ahead and do that here. You can also change your display name. You can change your schedule. As I mentioned, these are the frequencies. Here's our question bank. So you can add any question you like, and they essentially rotate in chronological order. So these questions, I selected it to receive up to one suggested question each issue. So if no one asks a question, it'll pull something from my bank. And so if I add a question, it'll pull the first one. Here's my theme. So maybe I want to upload a logo or a banner, and I can choose the header design. So I'm going to choose that for now. And then notifications are if I want to have comments. If I want to get notified for comments, that's something I can do. And if I want to, get notified for new replies, late replies, new questions, I definitely want to. And yeah, that's it. So super simple and easy to use. And the first two issues are free. And then from there on out, it's $5 a month for your entire group. And you can create as many letter loops as you'd like, as long as you're the owner of the letter loop with an active subscription. Comment below if there are any features you want to see or any questions you might have. We're here to help.